legalize pot in Washington and on January 5th in Colorado does not mean the Federal Controlled Substance Abuse Act, the old war on drugs, can still be waged by the feds against pot smokers and sellers. Be that as it may, an industry is taking shape around these new laws. We're joined in Seattle by the director of Hemp Fest, Vivian McPeak, and in Denver by managing director of Dixie Elixirs and Edibles, the aptly named Trip Keeber. Get it? Vivian, you first. So Hemp Fest, what is it, and are you happy?
Well, Geraldo, Hemp Fest is the world's largest annual cannabis policy reform event. We get about 250,000 cannabis enthusiasts come out every year for the last 22 years without incident. You know, these laws are fixing a problem that doesn't exist, and we're really excited that Washington State's taken a huge step forward for equality and liberty.
And Trip, what kind of products are you going to sell aside from just the old roll them, smoke them if you got them?
Good evening, Geraldo. Dixie Elixirs and Edibles is a manufacturer of infused products, primarily the aspect being THC, providing euphoria to both patients here in the state of Colorado and hopefully elsewhere in the not-too-distant future.
Did you bring any displays?
I did indeed. I have a small display of some of our various products, which would include medicated elixirs, 12-ounce medicated elixir would provide the equivalent of 40 milligrams of THC to a consumer or to a patient. We also have sublinguals, which are under the tongue, glycerin-based tinctures. And then most recently, earlier this month, we launched a medicated mint, which is very socially acceptable. So we're very excited about what the opportunity is.
So wait a second, Chip. So you have these products so you can get stoned without smoking. You just put a little thing in your, like a mint, as you say, and it has the THC, and you get loaded, right?
Well, we do focus on products that provide a euphoric aspect or psychoactive aspects of medical cannabis. Obviously, in the next month or so, we'll be focusing more on consumer-related products, but that is correct. All of our products do provide generally a state of euphoria to a patient.
A state of euphoria to a patient. Vivian, so you're afraid the feds might not pay attention to the state law? They have the absolute right to ignore it, you know.
Well, Geraldo, American taxpayers have been investing $42 billion a year into prohibition. The return on investment has been that marijuana is everywhere, and America is the largest jailer of citizens per capita in the world. We're hoping that the Obama administration will take this opportunity on a second administration, a lame duck, working on legacy, to say, hey, the voters, the citizens voted in these two states. Let's let the states work it out.
All right, that's Vivian McPeak and Trip Keeber. Weren't you a federal prosecutor in that very office in Seattle, Washington?
And I'm going to tell you, they are not going to let this go. They're not going to let this happen in the state. No, the feds can come in, as you know, as you just said, and trump anything that the state does.
Controlled Substances Abuse Act is a federal law.
Right, and when I was a federal prosecutor, we had the zero tolerance program, where you came in from the border of Canada or anywhere else, the slightest amount, and you were put in jail for a day. Record was expunged.
Yeah, but that wrecked someone's life over that.
Well,
you think the feds are going to do that? They're going to, even though the majority of the people in Washington State and Colorado.
I know that U.S. Attorney's Office, yes.
And so, Joe, you got 18 states passing medical marijuana already, right. A third of the American people. Isn't the writing on the wall here, this prohibition of marijuana is over?
I really think it is. I mean, look, you do, as Lee says, it's the supremacy clause. Article 6 basically gives the federal government, and it says, look, if we pass a law, our law is superior to you, state law. At the same time, it's a question, Geraldo, of enforcement. Does the federal government respect the rights of a sovereign state to govern their own citizens? I say they should, and they will.
You said they will respect the rights.
They will respect the rights.
Disagree. You can't let people.
Lise Wheel, Joey Jackson, Trip Keeber, Vivian McPeak. Have a wonderful, happy Hanukkah, everybody. A great.